A land of resilience, Vietnam before Doi Moi. Vietnam, a nation in Southeast Asia, boasts a history rich in culture and resilience. From ancient kingdoms to colonial struggles, the Vietnamese people have always fought for their independence. After the Vietnam War ended in 1975, the country faced immense challenges. The economy was devastated and the country was internationally isolated. The communist government, victorious after years of conflict, implemented a centrally planned economy. This system, however, struggled to meet the needs of the people. By the 1980s, Vietnam faced severe economic hardship. Inflation soared and basic goods were scarce. The country needed a change, a new direction to rebuild and progress. This difficult period paved the way for a pivotal moment in Vietnam's history, the introduction of Doi Moi. This reform policy would reshape Vietnam's destiny. The birth of Doi Moi, a turning point. In 1986, at the 6th National Congress of the Communist Party of Vietnam, a groundbreaking economic reform program was introduced, Doi Moi. This policy marked a turning point in Vietnam's history. Doi Moi translates to renovation in English, reflecting the country's ambition for change. The architects of Doi Moi recognized the need for a more open and market-oriented economy. They aimed to move away from the rigidities of the centrally planned system. Doi Moi embraced a socialist-oriented market economy. This meant promoting private enterprise while maintaining the Communist Party's leadership. The core principles of Doi Moi included encouraging private businesses, attracting foreign investment, and integrating Vietnam into the global economy. This ambitious reform program was met with hope and uncertainty as Vietnam embarked on a new path. Economic transformation opening the doors. The implementation of Doi Moi brought about a dramatic transformation in Vietnam's economy. The country shifted from a centrally planned system to one that embraced market forces. One of the most significant changes was the encouragement of private businesses. The government relaxed restrictions, allowing individuals to set up their own enterprises. This led to a surge in entrepreneurial activity, with small and medium-sized businesses mushrooming across the country. Foreign investment, once shunned, was now actively sought after. Vietnam offered incentives to attract foreign companies, recognizing their potential to bring in capital, technology, and expertise. This move proved highly successful, with foreign direct investment, or FDI, flowing into sectors like manufacturing, tourism, and services. The economy responded positively to these reforms. Lifting millions from poverty, a success story. One of the most remarkable achievements of Doi Moi has been its impact on poverty reduction. Prior to 1986, Vietnam was one of the poorest countries in the world, with a large portion of the population living below the poverty line. However, the economic growth spurred by Doi Moi lifted millions out of poverty. The World Bank recognizes Vietnam as one of the most successful cases of poverty reduction globally. The poverty rate plummeted from over 70% in the early 1990s to less than 5% today. This dramatic decline is a testament to the effectiveness of Doi Moi's policies. Factors contributing to this success include increased agricultural productivity, job creation in the private sector, and social safety net programs implemented by the government. Vietnam's journey from poverty to becoming a lower middle-income country is an inspiring development story. Section 5. Education and healthcare, investing in people. Recognizing that human capital is key to sustainable development, the Vietnamese government prioritized investments in education and healthcare alongside economic reforms. Doi Moi ushered in a new era of focus on improving the quality and accessibility of education at all levels. The literacy rate in Vietnam, already relatively high before Doi Moi, saw further improvements. The government expanded access to primary and secondary education, particularly in rural areas. Furthermore, Vietnam invested heavily in vocational training and higher education. This focus on education equipped the workforce with the skills and knowledge necessary to adapt to the demands of a rapidly changing economy. Similarly, healthcare also witnessed significant improvements. The government implemented universal health coverage, making healthcare services more affordable and accessible to all citizens. Section 6. Cultural revival, a nation rediscovering itself. Beyond the economic and social advancements, Doi Moi also facilitated a cultural revival in Vietnam. The country began to open up to the world, shedding its isolation and embracing international exchanges. This openness brought about a resurgence of Vietnamese culture and arts. Traditional art forms like water puppetry, silk painting, and folk music experienced a resurgence in popularity. Vietnamese literature, previously restricted, flourished with new voices and perspectives. The government actively promoted cultural preservation efforts. Historic sites were restored and traditional festivals were revived with renewed enthusiasm. This cultural renaissance not only helped preserve Vietnam's rich heritage, but also played a vital role in shaping the country's identity in the modern world. Section 7. Environmental Challenges, a Balancing Act. While Doi Moi brought about significant progress, Vietnam also faced new challenges, particularly in the realm of environmental sustainability. The rapid industrialization and economic growth took a toll on the environment. Air and water pollution levels rose in major cities and industrial zones. Deforestation and unsustainable agricultural practices led to land degradation and biodiversity loss. The government recognized the need to balance economic growth with environmental protection. Vietnam implemented policies to promote sustainable development, such as investing in renewable energy, promoting ecotourism, and strengthening environmental regulations. Addressing these environmental challenges remains a key priority for Vietnam to ensure the well-being of its people and the long-term health of its economy. Section 8. Inequality and social issues, bridging the gap. Despite the significant progress made in poverty reduction, inequality remains a challenge in Vietnam. The economic growth spurred by Doi Moi has not benefited everyone equally. The gap between the rich and the poor, as well as between urban and rural areas, has widened. While urban centres have prospered, rural areas have lagged behind in terms of infrastructure development and access to opportunities. This disparity has led to social tensions and migration from rural areas to cities, putting a strain on urban infrastructure and services. The government has implemented social welfare programs to address inequality and provide a safety net for vulnerable populations. However, more needs to be done to ensure that the benefits of economic growth are more equitably distributed, creating a more inclusive society. Section 9. Looking ahead. Vietnam's future aspirations. As Vietnam moves forward, it aspires to become a high-income developed country by 2045. To achieve this ambitious goal, the country is focusing on several key areas. One of the top priorities is to maintain sustainable and inclusive economic growth. This involves promoting innovation, attracting high-quality foreign investment, and developing a skilled workforce. Vietnam also aims to enhance its global integration by participating actively in international trade agreements and strengthening diplomatic ties with other countries. Another crucial aspect is to address the remaining social and environmental challenges. This includes reducing inequality, improving healthcare and education systems, and promoting sustainable environmental practices. Section 10. Innovation and technology, embracing the future. Vietnam recognizes that innovation and technology are crucial drivers of economic growth and development. The country has made significant strides in embracing digital transformation. The government has implemented policies to promote a digital economy, including investing in digital infrastructure, supporting tech startups, and fostering a culture of innovation. Vietnam has witnessed a surge in tech startups and a growing pool of young tech-savvy talent. The country aims to leverage technology to improve various sectors, including education, healthcare, agriculture, and manufacturing. By embracing innovation, Vietnam aims to become a regional leader in technology and a global player in the digital economy. Section 11. Conclusion: a legacy of transformation. Doi Moi, Vietnam's ambitious reform program, has left an indelible mark on the country's history. From a war-torn nation struggling with poverty, Vietnam has transformed itself into a lower middle-income country with a vibrant economy and a rising global profile. Doi Moi's legacy is one of remarkable economic growth, poverty reduction, improved living standards, and cultural revival. While challenges remain, Vietnam's commitment to further reform, sustainable development and innovation holds the promise of an even brighter future. The country's journey serves as an inspiration to other developing nations, demonstrating the transformative power of economic reforms combined with strategic investments in human capital and a forward-looking vision.